two really interesting series. And I know people are going to say, wait a second, the Reds have no chance against the Dodgers. Actually, they do, in my estimation. And they do because of a guy that I should have mentioned with Skubal and Crochet earlier, Hunter Green. Hunter Green has been one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball the last month or so, and he's not the only dominant starter that the Reds have. They also have Nick Lodolo and Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott likely will get some Cy Young votes. This is a rotation that in a short series can do some damage. The problem for the Reds, actually it's twofold. They don't really hit either, like their Ohio neighbors. They are particularly vulnerable to left-handed pitching, and the Dodgers are going to throw a bunch of left-handers at them in this series, starting with Blake Snell in Game 1 and a number of relievers. Reds only 25th in OPS against left-handed pitching this season. And the other thing that is an equalizer for the Dodgers, if you want to even call it that, maybe even an advantage for the Dodgers, is their rotation. We're talking about Snell, Yamamoto, and Shohei Ohtani likely in Game 3. The Dodgers seemingly want Ohtani in Game 3 so he can have a day off after the day he pitches. So regardless of whether they win the series in 3 or whether he starts Game 1 of the DS, he'd have a day off after he pitches. That rotation that I just listed, Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, that's as good as the Reds rotation. But at the same time, you just don't know how this is going to play out. And the other factor here, the Reds bullpen has been hot. It's also got to be tired at this point after that stretch run in which they caught the Mets and beat them out for that final wild card. The Dodgers bullpen, big time question. We know that. Now we're going to see Sasaki in the bullpen in this series, not Kershaw. Kershaw started the last game and will not be available, will not be on the roster. But that Dodgers bullpen has been an area of vulnerability. There's no question about it. So the winner of this series will face the Phillies. That would be an amazing matchup if it was Dodgers-Phillies. That's really what you would want to see in an NLCS type situation. But here we go. Most people, virtually all people, I'm sure, will pick the Dodgers. And I understand it. The Dodgers, though, might not have Will Smith. They're facing a team with a really good rotation. I don't see the Reds winning, but I can see a scenario in which this is much closer, at least in the games and the way they're playing out, than we think it's going to be. And finally, the final series.
Well, Dave, first let's talk about with Clayton Kershaw coming out of this game. To send Freddie Freeman out there, they obviously have a very special friendship and just relationship in general. Can you take us behind just kind of what went into that?
It was just more of just the moment. I felt that I wanted Clayton to, one last time get his flowers with the fans, and so he felt good about getting another hitter to start that 6th inning, and it was very fitting that it ended on a strikeout. And then I just felt that I took Freddie out of the game. I wanted to make sure that we got his 3 at-bats and felt good, 2 at-bats, whatever it was, felt good about it after the homer. And then I felt it was befitting to have him get the ball from Clayton, and he's not going to have that time when he comes out of the game, so that was a good way to do it. And then I would have a chance to kind of say a few words afterward, but it was a great moment for me just to kind of see the teammates on the field.
Do you have any interest in sharing some of those words that you shared with Clayton?
I just reiterated just how much respect I have for him, what a great career, how much I cared for him, and I've always tried to do right by him, and he's done the same for me and this organization. And man, it's just pretty. You just can't find any superlatives to describe what he's done in his career and for this organization. So just another special moment for him.
What did Freddie say when he brought the idea to him?
What's that?
What did Freddie say when he brought the idea to him? Him pulling.
I didn't give him a chance to say anything. I just kind of impromptu just said, "Go take the card for Knack, and you're going to go get the ball from Clayton." But ultimately, Clayton kept the baseball, which is the right thing to do.
What can you say about Shohei setting a new Dodger franchise record? He breaks his own from a year ago. Do you feel like he's in maybe the best spot he's been in a while going into the postseason?
I do. I do. He's in and has been in postseason mode. His September's been fantastic. At bat quality, you can see it on the mound. he's got a different look right now, and yeah, so just not surprised that he eclipsed his own home run mark, and he's had a tremendous season, and we got a long way to go now.
Baking in the ideas of who's going to start when, how much is his ability to hit the next day sort of part of that idea, and sort of keeping him rest, keeping him fresh, especially offensively?
Yeah, it's going to be baked in. Trying to, more rest has been good for him. He's responded to that, and so that's certainly going to be baked in. But yeah, the thought is he's going to start one of these first potential three games.
Dave, when it came to you doing what you did on the mound and sending Freddie out, and the way you did it at Dodger Stadium for Clayton, where does this come from as far as understanding your responsibility as far as the theater of the moment and giving Clayton and the fans the moments that you've allowed those moments to happen?
Yeah, I think it just stems from, the game is certainly much, much bigger than me. I think it's about the players and the fans. And so, when certain players earn the respect of their teammates, the fans, then how can I sort of orchestrate, facilitate things without being disrespectful to the other team? And so that's sort of where it stems from. And, I don't know how it's going to play out any of those moments. The 3,000 strikeout, that was the last hitter he was going to get. It just worked out that he got him on a strikeout, and we got to do it at Dodger Stadium. And how he pitched, for the last home game allowed for me to kind of get a little creative. And the same thing today. He was gassed, but I just felt that, one extra moment to, again, give the fans and baseball that special moment was something that maybe, him, his family, the fans can always remember that.
What kind of test are you expecting from the Reds?
It's a gritty group. It's a hungry group. It's certainly a younger group, and we can't take these guys lightly. Not to say that we took the Diamondbacks lightly, a few years ago, but these guys are going to be coming in to win a series, and they're feeling really good about themselves. So we've got to focus on ourselves and take it to them. And you don't play the game on paper, and we've got to have that edge that we've talked about. And they can pitch, and they're athletic. So they got a great manager who's won a couple championships. So we got to be ready, and we are ready.
The games this weekend weren't, must win the same ways as the others in terms of postseason seeding, but how important was it to build some momentum that you can carry into next week?
It was great. I think that given we're playing on Tuesday, to play good baseball is important, and not to, again, kind of flip the switch and play bad and hope that you start playing well in 2 days. So we've done that, and so I'm excited to kind of get on the plane, get to Dodger Stadium, have a workout tomorrow, be ready to go on Tuesday. And my hope is that the fans are as excited as we are, and we're gonna build off that energy from pitch one. So hopefully they'll come in and just kind of super energize us.
Can you talk about game one starting pitcher?
I just don't know. I think Yamamoto's a pretty good bet, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if we're ready to kind of, or Snell. I'm sorry, Snell's a good bet. So I'm not sure if we're ready to kind of officially announce it, but that's a little teaser, I guess.
Thanks, Dave.